Wonderful. Well, for all of you in the background there, I'm super glad that you're here. So my name is Adam Cuppy, and I'm the president of Learn Academy. I myself didn't join until relatively recently. So I did not found the company whatsoever. I'm joining because I really do believe in what Learn is doing for people transitioning into new career paths, especially into tech. And speaking of which, this whole idea of career transitions fully resonates for me because I did not go to school for programming at all. In fact, I did about the opposite you could do. I actually went to school for stage theater, and I have a degree in performing arts. And I think I took one HTML class in like 2002, 2003, something like that. Otherwise, I'm completely self-taught. So I 100% resonate with the idea of changing paths. I went through marketing into tech, and so all that. But the question I get a lot is whether or not I use my theater degree in any way, shape, or form. And the answer is absolutely. And simply put, I have spent so much time in front of complete strangers that I feel completely comfortable to do it. So that's what brings me here, is to be that person speaking in front of you as the stranger to this equation. And I'm glad that we're here. So let's start with Brian, if you would. If you would introduce yourself, give us an idea of your relationship to Learn. What did you do before it? And while we're at it, what are you doing now? What are you up to these days?
Totally. Yeah. Hi. My name is Brian. I went to Learn Academy. I was in Delta 2020 cohort. So that was a couple of years ago. And I'll go ahead and do 1, 3, 2 in the order of those questions. Because the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm currently working as a software engineer at Visor. And Visor was my internship company coming out of Learn. And prior to that, I was also a stage actor. I worked in theater and also was a teaching artist and a music director. And kind of like Adam just said about, do you ever use any of that? It's literally the same job. It's literally the same job. We're creating a curated experience for an audience. It's the same thing. It's different tools, it's different scale, slightly different goals in that it's more about utility than catharsis. But in both of them, you're wanting to, hopefully make people happy, help them do things in their lives. And I think the other thing I think that is kind of interesting about me is that I had to stop doing theater because of health issues. And I actually had a career gap, an unemployment gap of 7 years before I came to Learn. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Saw a thing about it through a mutual friend on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I can probably handle sitting up at a computer for 8 hours in my own house every day, since that's what I was currently doing at the time. So it's like, we'll try that. And I don't even know what else I would have done. It's been amazing.
Very cool. Well, thanks, Brian. I got questions to ask you, so we'll get to them. Actually, yeah, it's good. All right, moving clockwise around my faces here, Nicole, if you would.
Yes, thank you, Adam. So my name's Nicole, and I am associated with Learn from first being a student in Delta of 2022. And then after that, I was hired on. So I'm now an associate instructor at Learn. And before all of this, I was in the Navy for about 7 years as a military police. So it's my background, where I'm at, and how I got here.
Very stellar. Yeah, a lot of vets come through the program, which is awesome. And I'm super stoked that y'all have a chance to join us. That's great. Ari.
Hello, my name is Ari. I graduated from the 2022 Foxtrot cohort, picked one of the calmer backgrounds, believe it or not, from my cohort to bring with me. They yanked me right out of the tanks at Petco, spent 4 or 5 years over there as a senior aquatic specialist. I was very focused on animals and animal care, but there's a lot of stuff that happens with animals. The people in that career are not necessarily the kind of people I wanted to be around. So I decided to jump headfirst into Learn, and I'm now currently working with my internship company, Explore STEM, building a science application meant for 5th to 7th graders, I think is the goal. So yeah, that's me. Happy to be here.
Very cool. Vanessa, moving around the clock here. Vanessa's got a 2-part story as far as her association to Learn. So we expect to hear both parts.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's fun to be here. Learn. So I worked for Learn in 2016 and 2017, when we were still fully in person. We had not yet developed the relationship with the vet tech program. It was different then. And I was the marketing manager for Learn. Then I took a break from working. I had 2 sweet babies. And yeah, last year, this is my daughter's first year in kindergarten. So that obviously frees up a lot of time. And so it really got my wheels turning about what do I want to do? Do I want to go back into marketing? And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And then I just thought, Jumpstart was a pretty amazing weekend because I attended Jumpstart when I was previously working with Learn. And it was such a fun weekend. It was so engaging. And I remember thinking like, wow, if I weren't 9 months pregnant right now, I would want to think about doing this program. And so then I realized like, oh, I could do it now. So that's what I did. I joined, I was in the 2022 Echo cohort. It was a really incredible experience to have come from this background of working at Learn, knowing a lot of the people at Learn, and then coming back and meeting so many new faces and then experiencing things from the other side of the table. It was amazing. It was really cool. And then I did my internship program with this fantastic company, and a conference was coming up and they had an extra ticket. And so I kind of did the scary thing and I was like, hey, I know I'm not an employee here, but is that ticket up for grabs for interns? And they thought about it and they said, well, sure, get yourself to Houston and feed yourself while you're there, and you can stay in our like team space and we'll give you the ticket. And I did. And that was really cool because I got a chance to really reconnect with Chelsea, who's the CEO and co-founder of Learn, and just had some really wonderful conversations. And it turned out that there was a position opening back up in marketing. And so now I've returned back to Learn, in a professional capacity. So I am the community engagement specialist here. And I'm having such a great time getting to apply, my knowledge of the frameworks and the languages and the terminology, but also still really hitting all of those things in marketing that I loved. Yeah, that's my story.
Very good. Wonderful. Well, it's exciting to have you back. And of course, last but not least, TJ Cutter.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. I'm TJ, the director of marketing here at Learn. I've been with Learn for 5 years now, and my career change journey is a little different. I've been in marketing for 10 years now. So I found Learn just about halfway through. I've worn a lot of different hats from, before Learn, I was selling solar and cold calling people, from working from financial advisors and helping them build financial plans. In college, I was a DJ at nightclubs and all the lights in San Diego and all that. I was a waiter. So I think it's really cool is I can understand and empathize with a lot of people who are making this career change and this transition from where they've been to, and also taking a lot of the skills that they've brought from these different career paths and applying them to what they're doing now, because I feel that too. I feel a lot of these skills, from my past that, have influenced me to where I am today.
Wonderful.